Well, hello and welcome. This is the special coverage of the World Cup, and India has finally broken the jinx. They have defeated South Africa in their second match of Pool A, and right now, special guest, we have Aussie legend Andrew Symonds with us and our in-house field expert Nikhil Chopra. Nikhil, in fact, before I go to Andrew, I was just talking about that ad that is going around, Mauka, Mauka. All these ads are working for India now.
Well, absolutely, and especially this one with the South Africans where it says Mauka. Well, you could say that Team India has gone out and said, Mauke pe chauka. You break the jinx, outstanding. You know, one of those performances where you could say clinical. You know, when the batting's been good, you put some pressure on the South Africans and the South Africans crumble under pressure.
Well, Andrew, you know, lot of talk about this match. Everybody was hoping that India, 3 times they have lost to South Africa in the final. What was the turning point for you? I mean, we were not expecting this to get over so quickly, but what was the turning point of the match for you?
Yeah, well, I thought throughout the day India didn't miss a trick. They lost an early wicket through a run out, but that was a little bit of fortune for the South Africans. But from that point on, they consolidated, they kept South Africa quiet, and they just worked their way into the game. They had a couple of big partnerships which enabled them to build a big total. And then, you know, when they came out to field, they were hungry. The quicks were hitting the wicket hard. There was some real intent there. And the Indian fielding, that's as good as I've seen India field for quite some time. They were all busy, they were keen. They all wanted the ball to come to them. And they affected 2 run-outs on arguably 2 of their best players. So some very good signs for India with both bat and ball.
You know, Nikhil, everybody was talking about the Indian bowling. Yesterday also people were talking about it will be Indian batting versus South African bowling, but bowlers have also come through. It's been a solid performance all round.
Well, without a doubt. And especially, you know, the batsmen have helped. Ankit, you know, when you got 300 runs on board, the bowlers all of a sudden, you know, they get a bigger heart. They come out, like Andrew said, you know, come up and bowl with a great amount of intent, hitting the deck hard, a couple of quick bounces. You know, Umesh Yadav touching 147 kilometers an hour. Same as Shami, you know, close to 140. So it just goes to show Team India looking to regroup. After that game against Pakistan, the belief is there. And, you know, on the field, you're looking hungry. You want to go out there and put your best foot forward. You know, at the end of the day, you take care of the smaller pictures and you draw the larger picture. Everything will fall in favor of you.
You know, Andrew, talking about Shikhar Dhawan, what a knock this has been. A century, and that too, he paced his inning well. He made sure that he was there till, you know, at least the 42nd over, stayed till the end. Of course, he has an Aussie connection also there. What do you have to say about his inning?
Yeah, well, I said at the half-time point, I said he may have faced a lot. He faced a lot of balls and didn't rotate the strike, especially in the first half of his innings. But as it turns out, he did enough. He scored obviously a fairly big 100 and got his team to 307. But in my opinion, myself and Nikhil were talking earlier that the player of the Indian innings was Rahane. A beautiful innings, you know, 79 off 60 balls, I think it was. That really took the pressure off and allowed India to really manoeuvre themselves into a very dominant position.
What a knock that was from the young batsman. Nikhil, you've seen Rahane, of course, in domestic cricket as well. It was expected. We were waiting for him to, you know, come out in his true colours. What an innings! 60 balls, 79 runs, and in fact, he was the one who was taking all the pressure at one point of time in the middle when Shikhar was consolidating on the other side.
It made all the difference, you know, in terms of rotating the strike, getting the boundaries, putting the pressure back onto the South African bowlers. Shikhar just, you know, in the middle period probably just went into a shell. You needed somebody to go in and shift gears and take the pressure off Shikhar, and Ajinkya Rahane did that, you know, fantastically. You know, he is scoring boundaries at will and rotating strike. And it wasn't just about throwing the kitchen sink at everything. All good cricketing shots, and he was timing the cricket ball.
Absolutely.
That made all the difference.
Well, our guests, of course, are here with us in the studio, but let me very quickly take you out. India is celebrating. My colleague Pankaj Upadhyay, in fact, is joining us from Delhi. And as you can see, Pankaj is surrounded by a lot of people. Pankaj, mauke pe, as Nikhil was saying, India ne maar diya chauka.
Absolutely, and what a performance, Ankit, this has really been. From here on, aren't we looking all invincible? Have many cricket enthusiasts with me, also happy with India's victory. People, let's have a 3 cheers for India. Hip hip! Hooray! enthusiasts here, they said after having won the battle with Pakistan, it was like they had won the World Cup. But winning against South Africa, they feel Indian team is absolutely invincible now, absolutely impossible to control the crowd out here. I've got a cricket enthusiast with me. Tell me, you were talking about the strategy of Dhoni. It's really working out fine.
Superb. He's a master blaster. Really, he's a master blaster. He's not playing outside the field, he's playing inside also. His strategy always gives a successful result.
Okay, now I have spotted a few Punjabis here. Ankit with me. When you have Punjabis around, you need to have a bit of a bhangra. Now, guys, take it over. Chosim.
Yeah, as expected, batsmen have performed. Now, there was some ambiguity related to bowlers, but yeah, they have already done chatte fatte.
Let's have a few Punjabi moves as well. Ankit, crowd is going really mad out here.
I'm sure.
Show a few moves for the team.
Well, the Bhangra is out there, and Pankaj, I'm sure this is people, of course, extremely happy with that win, and I can see you trying, finding it very difficult for them to contain that excitement. Thank you, Pankaj. I'm going to come back to you. In fact, the Prime Minister, I've been told, has also congratulated Team India through Twitter. He has, in fact, congratulated India on winning against South Africa. Andrew, talking about the other side, the South Africans, there were a lot of questions throughout the match that even the commentators were raising about AB de Villiers' captaincy. It was, no fresh ideas were coming in. It was almost a stale sort of an approach to the match. What do you have to say about AB de Villiers?
Oh, look, I think that sometimes a captain can be made to look stale by an opposition playing very well, and that's what India did. They didn't allow South Africa into the game. So that's probably why de Villiers' decision-making seems stale, but there wasn't a lot more he could have done. I mean, and they were obviously a bowler down as well. They lost Philander. Yeah. He only bowled 4 overs, I think, in the course of the game, and he's one of their strike bowlers. So that makes things very difficult once you lose one of your strike bowlers. So he lost an option there. But I wouldn't have said he captained badly. I think he was just smothered by how well India played today.
All right, I'm going to Nikhil in a moment. We are also now joined by a consulting sports editor, Boria Majumdar, who is in fact in Melbourne. Boria, what a fantastic clinical performance by India. You were there at the ground. What's the atmosphere like now?
I'm still there. I'm actually walking to our makeshift studio. Was waiting for Saurav Ganguly, who will be joining us in a minute. Ankit, this is a takeover. This is a blue invasion of Melbourne. 88,000 people here in this stadium today, out of which 77,000 to 80,000 Indians. Oh, what an atmosphere. In my 20 years of covering cricket, I don't think I've seen anything like this before. Cricket Australia says it's the first. I was having a chat with all Cricket Australia people. They say they want India back here for the quarterfinals, having topped that group. You can hear Ganpati Bappa Moria, India jeetega. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
All right, Nikhil, coming to you, who's your pick for the man of the match? A lot of contenders from India this time. Shikhar Dhawan's there. Ajinkya Rahane, as we were talking about, batted beautifully. So who's your pick?
To be honest, Andrew and I were discussing and we both agreed on Ajinkya Rahane. For us, or at least for me, he set up the game because he took all the pressure, he took his chances and he put the pressure back on the South African side. So at least for me, it will be Ajinkya Rahane. But going by the trend, I wouldn't be surprised if Shikhar Dhawan gets it because he's got that 100. But in terms of setting up the game, it was Ajinkya Rahane.
Andrew?
Yeah, I agree completely. I think Dhawan will probably win the Man of the Match award. But yeah, for us, it was definitely a terrific innings which held the middle period together. But the acceleration was there to allow India to push towards that 300 and over mark. So.
Also a quick word about Dhoni's captaincy. Again, it seems that Captain Cool, whatever he's touching is turning gold. Every decision that he's making is going the way India would have wanted it to. He has been very calm and composed post, in Australia after stepping out as the Test captain. He has been now gradually, the team is speaking and Dhoni, of course, is leading right from the front.
Well, I guess the difference against Pakistan, you get a win under your belt. Obviously, you're confident. You want to just stay away from the hangover of the Australian tour. We didn't do too well in the test matches, even in the triangular. But come the World Cup, you win the first game against Pakistan, confidence, you took a break. the side got together. It makes a difference when your batsmen go out there, get runs on board, 300, in both the games so far. Bowling looks good, and you're as good a captain as your side. And as of now, in the 2 games, Ankit, that we've seen, I don't see any chink in Team India's armory, in the sense that there's no loose or a hole in that team at this moment in time. Yeah, a couple of guys have missed out amongst runs, whether it's Rohit or as well as Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Yeah.
But the guys who've got in have been able to convert those starts. So as a captain, I'm sure he'll be very happy with the side.
Well, Boria is back on the line with us. Let me quickly go across to Boria Majumdar once again. Boria, we were talking about the pick for the man of the match. Who is your pick? Ajinkya Rahane, Shikhar Dhawan, or somebody else?
Shikhar Dhawan has to be, man was not in form, and the kind of shots he played against Dale Steyn was unbelievable. Ajinkya Rahane was sublime, he was brilliant, he was outstanding. But for 137 against South Africa, opening the batting, getting it along after Rohit Sharma got run out, Virat Kohli got the time, Shikhar Dhawan was unbelievable. 73 in the first game, unfortunately run out, 137 in the second. If there was any statement to be made on behalf of Shikhar Dhawan, he's made it. Believe me, Ankit, this is a blue invasion. I was walking towards our makeshift studio. We'll be there in a couple of minutes, waiting for Saurav Ganguly. The scenes that I was seeing in front of my eyes, I have never seen anything like this in Australia. I've lived in this country, taught in this country. I've never seen scenes like this in Melbourne.
Andrew, Shikhar, of course, it seems has come back to the form. There were a lot of questions before the World Cup started about whether he should be played or not. First match, he was all set for a century, got run out. It was unfortunate. And this time, he just came out and built his inning. Again, a big relief for Dhoni. Your opening batsmen are firing.
Yeah, well, for me, he seemed to be very composed the minute he went out there today. The first couple of balls he faced, he looked very solid in defence, and he seemed to have his game all in order. I think he was probably a calming influence on the whole sort of initial part of the first innings. He didn't look flustered at all, and then he just worked his way into his innings. It was a very complete innings from him. He took his time, and was the backbone of the Indian innings. Don't get me wrong.
Nikhil, talking about the other players, everybody was chipping in. Mohit Sharma, in fact, young player, bowled beautifully, took 2 wickets and was also responsible for one of the runouts. How about, the entire team coming together, everybody almost now chipping in, doing whatever their roles are, and that is what has definitely made a difference as far as the performance of the Indian team is concerned? Well,
absolutely. And so early in the World Cup, when you've got everybody chipping in towards a victory, it makes all the difference. Whether it's the batsmen going out there, converting those starts, and you get 300 runs on board. Come the bowlers, all the bowlers are doing their part. You can't say that somebody's had a bad day at the office. I can understand, somebody's gone for a couple of boundaries, but they've come back hard. They've come and bowled well. They've bowled their hearts out, 140 plus. Mohit Sharma, not express pace, but at least he's got that ball to do something in the air. Put the ball in the right sort of areas and allow or force the batsman to make those mistakes. So as a side, you want that kind of performances from coming in. Everybody in the 11 should be looking to chip in whatever way, whether it's a fantastic catch, if you've had a bad day in your own core department, brilliant piece of run out. Umesh Yadav, that run out that he got, good hard throw to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, so he's chipped in as well.
Yeah.
So as a captain, I'm sure Mahendra Singh Dhoni would be very, very happy with the kind of effort that he's seen in the field.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Team India's star opener, Shikhar Dhawan, seems to have buried his poor form. Dhawan followed up a sparkling half-century against Pakistan with a ton against South Africa. He made 137 runs with the help of 16 fours and 2 sixes.
Indian Lion has rode back to form just at the right time. If 73 against Pakistan was the beginning, then a ton against South Africa showcased Dhawan's supremacy. The southpaw ripped into Dale Steyn and company, leaving them frustrated. Going into the tournament, Dhawan was struggling with form. But the experts backed him to fire when it matters.
Shikhar Dhawan would like a few more runs, but having said that, his performance in one-day cricket over the last year has actually been very, very good. So, we are judging him on 2 or 3 failures and a tough tour of Australia. I think we need to be a bit more patient with him.
And the trust paid off. Dhawan has looked a different player. His persistence to go with pull shots has reaped benefits for India. Dhawan has been leading India's charge from the front. And he has played a major role in ensuring India scored successive 300-plus totals. As India looks to up the ante as the tournament progresses, Dhoni will be hoping Dhawan continues to rule the roost and give India flying starts.